All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to all our princesses and heroes. We are here with our amazing authors of the brand new Princess in Black, Shannon and Dean Hale. So welcome, everybody. Just a bit of housekeeping before we get started with our very exciting adventure. We have a number of great events coming up. Next week, we have Julie Berry with Wishes and Wellingtons, which is very exciting for all of our young viewers today. And we also are very excited to announce that tonight is part of our Read It Forward program with support of Candlewick Press. So thank you to Candlewick Press. One of the problems that our community has faced in the outset of the pandemic was the inability to obtain books. With schools closed, libraries closed, bookstores closed, access to books has been challenging for lots of kids and families. So we have started a book donation program called Read It Forward. It helps get books to students receiving free meals through the Belmont, Arlington, and Watertown public schools and through the Waltham Boys and Girls Club. So Princess in Black has lent us her sparkle signal to call to all of our friends. And if you guys out there listening could help us with our giant problem, we would love it if you would donate to Read It Forward. The link I will add just down here. And we can get more great books like Princess in Black and the Giant Problem, yay, to kids who don't have access. You can use the green button at the bottom to buy a copy of the book for yourself. And I will add also the Read It Forward button. So Shannon and Dean Hale are our lovely guests tonight, yay. They are the award-winning husband and wife team behind Princess Black series. And Shannon Hale is also the author of the Newbery Honor book, Princess Academy, as well as the New York Times best-selling graphic novels, Real Friends and Best Friends. And they are joining us today from Salt Lake City, Utah. So a big welcome to you guys, and I will leave you to it.
Hello, thank you. Thank you so much. We're so happy to be hosted by Belmont Books. Everybody is going through a rough time right now. If those of you out there have been mostly quarantining at home for the last 6 months, so have we.
Trapped.
And a lot of, it's challenging for a lot of people and a lot of bookstores. So if you love having an independent bookstore in your community, the best way to support them is by buying books from them. And it is a great time right now to get a head start on holiday shopping because who knows what's going to be in print and able to be mailed in advance. So I encourage you to contact your local bookstore. Belmont Books ships, and it doesn't have to be our books.
Yeah, any books. And reading is a great thing to do while trapped anywhere.
Yes. We only give books now for holiday giving and never regretted it. Well, we are going to start out by doing a little screen share.
And
there we are screen sharing, and we are playing.
Okay, this is on faith.
I know.
Because we can't see your little faces. We don't know.
See if this is working or not. So hopefully you are seeing what we're seeing. So The Princess in Black and the Giant Problem is our new book. Now, Dean and I have done a number of books together, like Diana, Princess of the Amazons. It's a graphic novel about young Diana. And we've done a graphic novel called Rapunzel's Revenge, illustrated by Nathan Hale. Diana was illustrated by Victoria Ying.
That's Wonder Woman. Diana.
I mean, that's what I said.
You said young Diana. They might not know her name's Diana.
Oh, did I not say it was young Wonder Woman?
Well, it's right there.
All right.
Anyway.
And we've done a couple of books for Marvel about Squirrel Girl, and she's a superhero who fights crime with her faithful
squirrel friend,
Tippy Toe. And
just like we do. We work together the exact same way.
Me and Dean here being Squirrel Girl and Tippy Toe working together. Mm-hmm. Here are Real Friends and Best Friends. These are, if you see the little red head in the middle in both of those books, that's because it's me. It's about my true experiences with friends when I was younger. And those books, as well as Princess in Black, are illustrated by Lei Win Pham. And here we are together. We wish she could be with us today. She's in California with her kiddos. And I want you to be really comfortable pronouncing her name. It's very simple. The top is how it's spelled. The bottom one is how it's pronounced in English. Lei Win Pham. Very simple. This is Dean.
That's me and my son, who's almost as tall as me now.
Yes, he's 16 now, but as you can see, we've always loved superheroes. We've written a lot of books around superheroes. We've dressed up as superheroes. And this little girl she's 13 now, but her name is Magnolia. And maybe you could write in the chat if you know, if that name sounds familiar and you might guess what she inspired. But as you can see, she loved being a superhero and she loved being a fairy princess and she liked to be both and she didn't want to have to choose and only be one or the other. So she really inspired us. Here's our whole family being the Princess in Black. We've got 4 kids, including twin daughters, identical girls at the end there. They are now 10, which is amazing. Were they even born when we started this? I think they were babies.
I think they were babies. Yeah.
Now they're 10. So here we are, Princess Magnolia. She loves wearing fluffy pink dresses and glass slippers. And she also loves putting on a cape and mask and fighting monsters.
Those can't be the same person.
I know. Like when she got her mask on, you can't tell who she is. So the new book is The Princess in Black and the Giant Problem. And usually we read the first couple of chapters of a book. It's too long to read all of it. But we love chapter 7 so much that we are actually going to read to you chapter 7 right now.
All right. Princess in Black and the Giant Problem, chapter 7. The Princess in Black, the Princess in Blankets, and the Goat Avenger stood in front of the giant. They waved their arms. They yelled, "Stop!" and "Go back!" and "Stay away from the village!" The giant yelled, "Squashy!" With enormous hands, the giant picked up all 3 heroes, and he stuck the Goat Avenger's legs in his mouth. "You may not eat the Goat Avenger," said the Princess in Black. But the toothless giant didn't eat the Goat Avenger. He just gnawed on him with his gums. Then he said, "Squashy," and dropped them all. Landing headfirst in a pile of snow was not a party. The Goat Avenger's pants were wet with drool, but this was no time to change pants. The giant was getting closer to the village. Just then, 3 new heroes arrived. "Look," said the Goat Avenger as he squeezed drool out of his pants. "It's Cartwheel Queen, Miss Fix-It, and Flower Girl." "They must have seen the sparkle signal," said the Princess in Blankets. "That's right," said Cartwheel Queen. She did a cartwheel in the snow. "Could you use the help of 3 more heroes?" "How about 4?" said a new hero. The 6 heroes gasped. "I too saw your sparkle signal," said the new hero. "I'm Hopscotch, and this is my..." "Giraffe?" said the Goat Avenger. "Of course not," said Hopscotch. "Mr. Hiss is a snake." "Ah," said the Goat Avenger. "We were only expecting 3 heroes," said the Princess in Black. 4 is better." "How about more?" said yet another new hero. "Whoa," said Miss Fix-It. "Wow," said Flower Girl. "Great gobs of gum," said the Princess in Blankets. "Who are you all?" asked the Goat Avenger. So the new heroes waged introductions. Sister Spark and her narwhal, Fishy Splash. Rainbow and her lion, Roar Beast. "There are a lot of heroes now," the Goat Avenger started to say, but he was interrupted by more heroes. Lady Rock and her octopus, Cuddlebug. Violet Pilot and her plane, Silver Bell. "Nose, hose, and elephant, so many heroes," the Princess in Blankets started to say, but she was interrupted by more heroes. Sunblock and her sea snail, Slim. Super Meow and her catfish, Mermaid. The Kicker and Coat Rack.
That is The Princess in Black and the Giant Problem, chapter 7. We jumped ahead because we couldn't wait to introduce to you all the new heroes. There are so many of them.
All the princesses in book 2.
Book 2 can't come back. So you see that we have, Flower Girl, Cartwheel Queen, and Miss Fix-It, which have been in the last couple books if you've seen those. But then we also get to introduce Hopscotch. and
Mr. Hiss.
and then we just love all these new heroes so much. We loved coming up with names for them and disguises for their pets, because all of the pets had to be disguised as animals different from them. So you see, if you see Roarbeast there, Roarbeast is clearly a lion, but what is Roarbeast really under that disguise?
A dog?
Nope.
It's
Oh, you can say. I was going to say write it in the chat if you know.
It's a bear.
It is a bear. And if you see up there above it is Fishy Splash. Fishy Splash is a narwhal. Well, that was our way of hiding a unicorn, because a unicorn has a horn and we didn't know how to hide that unicorn's horn. So we put a narwhal costume over it so it still has a horn. Can you tell what that octopus really is underneath there? It's an elephant, right? The elephant's trunk is
just another tentacle.
It's just another tentacle. And then we had a Pegasus, which is a flying horse. So how do we hide a horse's wings? And we decided it could be...
It's just an airplane.
An airplane. That's right. And we had a lot of animals with antlers. We hid one of them with what are those called? Antenna.
Yeah.
And to be that snail. And another one over here, we were like, well, we've already had, this is our third antlered animal, because
Doom Rabbit.
Doom Rabbit, yes, not a moose.
Mm-hmm.
Was not a moose, was a stag, right?
I believe so.
Stag. And so not a moose, the stag put big socks over its antlers. It became a rabbit named Doom Rabbit. But we had this last antlered animal, and we thought, how do we disguise this one? And we thought, a coat rack.
It's not an animal.
I think coat rack might be my favorite.
But it's a disguise.
And also Super Meow and her catfish Permaid are just so great. So obviously you can see how much fun we had with those. And we had our kiddos help us come up with names for the superheroes and their pets. We have 8 Princess in Black books now. I'd love to see them there in all their different colors. And right now we are writing book number 9, and we can't tell you anything about it because it's still a secret. But I have so much confidence everybody's going to love that one.
It was super fun to write.
It was. And then Lei Wen will illustrate it, and that will be out next year too. Well, we will unscreen share here for a second and do questions. Hey, we're back. Hello.
Hello. I see there's been some chattery.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes. So, yes, Roma guessed Princess Magnolia. So
right.
we named our Magnolia.
Mm-hmm.
I named her after our Magnolia. Oh, and they love, yes, the kicker and coat rack is going to be big stars, I think.
Right. No,
they're going to be big stars.
I'm going to do cosplay of the coat rack.
Oh, Sarah Marie guessed bear.
Oh, yeah.
Roarbeast was really a bear.
Mm-hmm.
And Roma guessed unicorn was the narwhal. I like it. Sarah Marie guessed elephant. And Roma likes the tiger and loves coat rack. That is great. Well, we would love to spend a few minutes answering your questions. There's a question spot down there. You could also just write it in the chat. So let's see. Andrew wants to know how Princess in Black got all her neat gear, met Blackie, became a good fighter. Oh, what's her backstory?
Mm-hmm.
Well, every superhero has an origin story.
That's true.
So Superman's origin stories, he was born on another planet called Krypton. And it blew up, and his parents, to save his life, sent him in a rocket ship to Earth. And when
Are you saying that's what happened to Magnolia?
No, I'm talking about origin stories.
I know, but you're talking about Superman.
Yes, and when his spaceship came here, he got powers because the sun was different than his home planet, and it gave him superpowers. So that's an origin story of a superhero. So an origin story is the story of how the superhero became
a superhero.
Mm-hmm. So that is a really good question, Andrew.
And we haven't told that story yet.
We have not told the origin story of Princess Magnolia and how she became the Princess in Black. We've written one version of it, and it just didn't feel right to do it yet. So we may someday tell that story, but we haven't yet. But I would love, it's a really fun activity that you could do at home by yourself or with your family. is write your own origin story.
Yeah. What do you think?
You make up what happens. All you need to do really is take a piece of paper, and fold it in half, and then you write the title, and then you draw and write, and you got a book. You put 2 pieces of paper together if you want to make it longer, or 3, and you just do your own book, and you draw the pictures and write the words and make up your own story. I think that would be awesome.
That'd be a good story too, I'm sure.
I love it. Catherine asks, can you make a 10th book?
Yeah, I think we could.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to?
I think we could make a 50th book.
Yeah, we probably could. I love writing these.
We love writing these.
We have ideas all the time.
So many ideas.
Yeah.
We have so many Princess and Black stories we would love to tell. It is a bit much to expect Lehman Pham to illustrate more than one a year.
Yes. It takes a long time to paint all those pictures.
She does about 80 paintings for each book. And she does watercolor paintings, and she's amazing. She's so talented. So we actually have written book 9,
Mm-hmm.
and that will be out in a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we've written a draft of it. So.
Right.
And then we have an idea outlined for book 10.
Yes, we do.
Which we think is super fun.
Mm-hmm.
Which actually is something we wanted to do for a long time. And it is actually something that many readers
have asked for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Not the origin, though.
No, it's not the origin.
Yeah.
But is another thing that people often say, how about you do a story about?
Mm-hmm.
And we're always like, oh, we are going to for book 10, but we can't talk about it yet. So hopefully a lot of you will be happy with that one. And all kinds of good Princess and Black things coming around. Hopefully it will be a movie. It has been optioned by a major studio, and it would be really fun if it was a big animated movie about the Princess and Black. So you never know with these things.
Might never happen.
We will see. All right. So Roma asks, how did you come up with the
Princess and Black?
Do you want to tell the story?
Sure. But I mean, it didn't entirely happen to me, but there's a reason why we named her Magnolia. It was because one day our daughter Magnolia, who was, how old was she at the time? 4 years old. And she was looking at her skirt, and it was a butterfly skirt. And it was lots of different colors. And she was pointing at the colors and saying, pink is a girl color, purple is a girl color, but not black. And Shannon was there and said, what?
I was like, what?
How do colors have gender? That doesn't make any sense. I've never said anything like that. And
I was like, girls can wear black.
Right. And she said, Batgirl wears black. And I thought that would be plenty enough. But then our daughter said, no, Mama, princesses don't wear black. And so immediately Shannon thought, okay, I can't think of one. We need to write a story right now. And so she started thinking about it. And I was at work, and I came home from work, and she said, The Princess in Black. And I said, and she's a superhero. And she fights monsters. And, with monsters involved, I had to help.
Yes. I was so excited about the idea. I couldn't stop thinking about it. And it just turned out even better than I could have hoped with Candlewick Publishing and Leywin doing the illustrations. So that's how the first idea came to be. It often is that way when we're writing books. We'll get something that will cause an initial spark. But that's just the idea of a Princess in Black isn't a book. It's not a story, is it? It's just an idea. So in order to get a story, you figure out, well, who is she? What does she want? And who are her friends or the relationships around her? And what is trying to stop her from getting what she wants? And answering those questions is how you build a story. So we talked about it and figured out, what does she want? To protect her kingdom.
Specifically the goat pasture, because it's threatened a lot.
By monsters.
What do the monsters want?
They want to eat the goats.
That's right. And they're stopped.
And the key relationships. So relationships are like between a couple people, couple characters. Our relationship is we're husband and wife. We have really important relationships with our kids as their parents. In our life story, those are our most important relationships, each other and our kids. In your life, you probably have really important relationships too. In Princess Magnolia's life, her most important relationships are with Frimplepants, who's also her pony Blackie, with Duff the goat boy, who's
Mhm.
Magnolia's friend, who's also the goat avenger, Princess Magnolia's friend, and Princess Sneezewort, her best hero friend. And they make other friends along the
Yeah.
way, but those are her most important relationships. And stories are really about relationships. So that's what we always think about when writing stories. What are the most important relationships? And then what fun can we have while we're
Right.
still telling that story? So let's see. Do you want to read this next one?
Let's see. This is from Charlotte. She wonders how we come up with the different things that Princess Magnolia and her friends fight, like the hungry bunny horde.
Mm.
Well, I'm always thinking of things that,
Yeah.
different kinds of monsters.
Yes.
But what we kind of want is we want to have her struggle against something that you might understand, like hunger, like a monster that's hungry. But when we're thinking of the fun stuff, though, a lot of times we just think what would be funny, like what would be a cool monster that would be like this.
And I think you came up with the bunny horde.
Yeah, the bunny horde was me because I thought it would be really funny. One of the things we like to do in the story is show you one thing and make you think, oh, that's going to go this way, and then go a different way. Just like, Princess Magnolia is tink, 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 and then suddenly she's a monster fighter. And we'd already had the monsters come out, and I wanted to have something cute and fluffy, and something you'd be like, oh, I want to squeeze it, it's so cute. But then have it be the monster.
And not only the monster, but the most powerful monster of all. The monster that all the monsters in Monsterland are most afraid of. You think it's a cute little adorable bunny, but we like to flip things on its head. When we started writing these books, some of you kids have grown up with them, so it may seem strange to you, but when we started writing them, the idea that a princess could be a superhero was crazy. Like everybody was like, what?
Especially if she could be both of those things, that she could be, fluffy and
Yeah.
love the cute things and sparkly things.
She likes being a princess.
Yeah.
And she also likes being a superhero.
Yeah.
And a lot of people we talked to about the book were like, that would never work. That's a crazy idea. But when Dean and I write, that's what we like to do. We like to find really crazy ideas and find a way to make them work. And now you guys are so used to the Princess in Black, it doesn't seem weird to you at all. But what's funny is just, how many
Yeah.
years ago? 9 years ago, people were like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. That's too weird.
Yeah.
Can't you just do one or the other?
Let's see. We have 2 more questions. Do all your kids equally like the series? Asks Micah.
Do they? They don't really care about the books we write. They like to read, but they're like, yeah, Mom and Papa.
Yeah, our kids are always like, my friends at school love your books. But I think it's weird when it's your parents.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although I will say, especially one of our kiddos, she reads I'll read to her when we're writing a new book before it's got pictures or anything. I'll read her different versions of it. And she's really good at giving me feedback and advice on it.
Yeah.
So I think she's the most involved. I would say it depends on the book,
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we've published, together we've published over 35 books. So
well, yeah. I guess adding
some of the books they love. I would say my 10-year-olds are really big fans of Real Friends and Best Friends. Because right now that's what they really like are graphic novels that are about true stories about real girls like them.
Yeah.
So I think that's where their heart is right now. But they've loved Princess in Black.
Yeah.
They especially love this one because they help name everybody.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Why do the monsters like the goats?
Because they smell delicious.
They smell so good and goaty.
Yeah.
That good goaty smell.
They're monsters. They like that. It's like when you walk into the house and you smell whatever it is you're thinking of, the delicious thing. Because for some people it's like pizza, or for some people it's fresh bread, or for some people it's rice, whatever that is.
Yeah. It's funny because right now we're working on something that answers that question a bit.
That's true.
But essentially I would think that goats just smell so much more interesting to monsters with their good noses than anything that they eat in Monsterland.
Right. The stuff in Monsterland is pretty boring.
Yeah. Oh, let's see.
Oh, that's a good, you should make a book about the main character as a bad person.
Yeah, we actually thought about writing a book from the point of view of one of the monsters. what it's like to be a monster and come up and just want to eat goats, and then
Mhm.
have this person in a mask
Why
trying
do you
to
keep
stop
pushing
you.
me away? I'm just hungry.
We've talked about that a lot, actually. Let's see. We love, Gina says, we love the sneaky monster. We dressed up as Princess Sneeze wearing the sneaky monster for a book day last year.
That
I
is
love
great.
it. What form was the stinky monster in? Because that sneaky monster can be,
Well, that's the nice thing about the sneaky monsters. You can just decide.
yeah, maybe I'm the sneaky monster
And
disguised as Shannon and Hale.
right,
You just
right.
don't know. Let's see. Belmont Books gives a link that to check out your book group for kids. So if you're interested in that, definitely check that out. Oh, Sarah Marie suggests. What's that?
She was in the bush form. The sneaky monster as a bush.
Oh, I see. Gina was the yes, good.
Mhm.
Sarah Marie suggests the Princess in Black and the Naughty Fairy. I love that title.
Yeah,
That is really funny.
that would be good.
Yeah. Did we miss one more question? I feel like there's one more number in here. Let's see.
Oh yeah.
Oh, why do you make monsters, not people? So why does the Princess in Black fight monsters instead of fighting people? That's a really good question. One reason why is because we wanted these books to be funny and fun. We love stories that make us laugh, especially lately. Like all I want to watch are comedies for movies and stuff. There's a lot, Real Friends and Best Friends, for example, are books I've written that have a lot more serious stuff and some sad stuff and heavy stuff. And I think those kinds of books are really important and helpful and can be enjoyable. But also sometimes you just want a book that you can laugh at.
Yeah.
And we didn't want the fighting. We wanted her to be able to be a superhero who fights to protect people and goats.
But not punching actual people.
Yeah,
in the
we didn't
face.
want her actually hurting anybody.
Yeah.
So it was a way to make it less serious, and that she's not actually hurting anybody.
Yeah.
She's going to protect those goats, but she's not actually hurting the monsters because they're monsters.
Yeah, she's not really trying to hurt them. She's trying to stop them. We think of them as the monsters are sort of like toddlers, big giant toddlers that can do whatever they want. They come in, I want to do this. And she's like kind of like a babysitter trying to say, no, go back, no.
Yes. But it's also fun with a superhero to have big fight scenes.
Yes.
And we want to do that without worrying about them. So that is why we did that. It's a good question.
Plus, I always think that monsters are awesome, like way more interesting than people.
And it gives Lei Win a chance to draw. Oh man, she's drawn so many different monsters. And she's going to draw so many more in the books we have coming up.
Poor Win.
As I think about all the things, we just write this down, and she has to figure out how to draw it. And she's such a good sport. Well, we are about out of time. Does anybody have any last questions? Shoot them off. If not, Roma suggests The Princess in Black and The Bad Princess as a title. Love it. So we want to just thank Belmont Books for hosting us in Candlewick, and Lei Win Pham, our fabulous collaborator. And will you show them?
What am I showing them?
Mike.
Oh.
We've had here next to us an interloper.
Oh, come here. Oh, come here.
Who's been next to us the whole time. And this is the great thing about doing these events from home.
No, I want to be free. Be free. Be free.
He's really like one of the monsters.
Oh, you are.
You guys have pets. You love them. But if they climb up on the counter, you're going to have to squirt them with a water bottle.
Mm-hmm.
If they try to eat the Christmas tree ornaments, you're going to have to say no and tell them not to. You may not eat the Christmas tree ornaments.
Now he's licking himself because I touched him. He's trying to lick off the human.
Your pets are great, but you got to keep them in line.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can't let them eat the goats. All right. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining us today. And thanks to Belmont Books.
There's a link right there. You can get it right now. In the chat. Right there. See, it says don't forget.
Oh, yes. There we are.
Thank you so much for coming, you guys. This has been so much fun. I'm so glad I got to learn so much more about Princess in Black and the places that we're all going to go together. And thank you to everyone who came. Make sure to check out belmontbooks.com/event to see all the other fun, awesome people we have coming up for kids and grown-ups alike. And until next time, princesses and heroes, we'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.